Like, hi guys, I'm Austin from Mid Tier Thoughts, the Mid Tier Thoughts podcast. Today I'm joined by my buddy Brandon. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, man?
Yeah. So I am Brandon from Conceptual Concepts 6.9. I have a YouTube channel here. Mainly do like concept videos, rifle overviews, few little reviews here and there, but that's about the gist of it.
Yeah, so today we're out here in this beautiful weather, obviously, in the Great White North. So we're going to be talking a little bit today about some budget alternatives to kit, retro rifles, and kind of how to get started on a budget. So I know for me right now, I'm wearing an M88 LDV vest hooked up with an Alice belt. Most of the stuff on here is surplus gear, which in my opinion, I think is still viable. Same opinion with the idea of the retro rifles. Is there better stuff out there? Is there better tools out there? Absolutely. The best part about this stuff, though, is it works, it's inexpensive, and it's readily accessible. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Brandon, what are your thoughts kind of on surplus gear?
I think it's probably the best route to go. When I started, I jumped for NC Star $20 chest rigs, and those fell apart really quick. Versus you can get like a chest rig. Last chest rig surplus or surplus gear I bought was like, I think like 15-20 bucks at an antique store, and it's held up way better.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times right now you can get the TAP system chest rigs for like 20-30 bucks, and those are great options. This is a little bit older surplus kit. Just kind of want to show the viability of it. We're going to go to kind of a breakdown of what's in the kit, what's on the kit, and a little bit of the rifle talk too, and then get a little bit more into it. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Sweet. All right, guys. I want to actually grab my rifle.
Okay. Run!
Maybe we should keep that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to put that in the B-roll of my video.
All right, guys. So here we go. I've got my my belt system set up here. We're going to kind of go over real quickly kind of what's over this. Not a too in-depth video. I might want to do one of those in the future. Just kind of a brief overview. Going to show you what you can have the capability of with kit like this. So my first thing is, whenever you're in Minuteman style capacity, the idea of like having a chest rig with just 3 mags, not enough. If it does come down to a situation where we do have to start shooting as normal everyday people, you only have as much ammunition as you can carry on you. The benefit of this, you can carry a hell of a lot of ammo. So with these on either side, I've got 1 single and then 1 double pouch. So you've got a total of 6 mags on the chest rig. And then I've got these surplus, like NOM style magazine carriers. They can generally hold 3 of these. So if you're running something heavier too, like a 308, one of my other guns I run is a G3. These hold 2 308 mags pretty well, so that's a good viable option for that. With that, then I've got my IFAK. I've got a canteen on either side. Inside each canteen, I have water purification tablets as well. On the other side here, I do have a drop leg holster for my Beretta 92X Centurion with a tourniquet attached. Now you can either run this as a drop leg, or I could get a mount because I have the space and mount it to the belt here. Kind of a personal preference thing when it comes down to that. I don't mind the drop leg. I've used them a lot before. I know some people have hard feelings about it one way or the other. Fight me. Then the biggest part of this is the butt pack, right? So you can obviously see my bedroll here. I generally have one of these blankets. I'll have tarps and a few other shelter making kit in here. Don't necessarily want to go super in depth and pulling up a lot of the stuff out of here, but I'll generally have an entrenching tool, some extra food, extra water, fire starting equipment, batteries, spare things in there that I might need. Generally 24 to 48 hours of sustainment kit, as well as anything I might need, like water purification, fire starter, things like that. I could run spare ammo in there if I wanted to as well. I do have attachment points on the back here for Alice clips that I could add more ammo to, more water, more medical, anything like that. Hard to see on here, but I also have these grenade pouches on each side. that are underneath the mag pouches. Generally with those, I like to keep certain things like compass, or I can put my rangefinder or my observation tools in there. That's a little bit of a stretch, but they hold up pretty well. They don't get in the way, and they work out pretty good as far as being able to hold all that. On the top here as well, I generally run a tourniquet up top, as well as one on my sidearm. I like to have at least two readily available. But as you can see, again, this is an older kit. You know, I've got an Alice belt, an old school Alice belt. I've got the M88 LDV, which just straps to the belt, so it becomes one solid system. For a long time, this was kind of used in unison. Back in the days of M81 Woodland and so on, it worked pretty well. Still allows you to put a pack on. I can easily shoulder an Alice pack and have it set basically right here on the butt pad. 3-day pack, whatever kind of pack you want to carry, it doesn't really interfere with that at all. It's relatively light, even with carrying, it at least doesn't feel super heavy, even when carrying 12 mags altogether. The other nice thing about this as well is now it doesn't have armor like a chest rig, or not a chest rig, but a plate carrier. But the thing is if you want to run a slick plate carrier, you can run underneath it. I have tried wearing this with a standard carrier. As long as you don't have it too built up on the sides, you can generally get away with a 3 magazine placard, and then running one of these as well. So this can go over clothes for any like kind of inclement weather. You can wear this on over your heavy jackets, things like that. You could throw a jacket over the top part of this if you really need to in a pinch. So it's not a terrible option, and it's not a bad way to go. Biggest thing for me for all of this entire setup, not including the ammo, not including the mags, just the pouches itself, right? So the canteens, the pouches, the butt pad, like just the gear empty in and of itself, all of this I've got through thrift stores for under $100 altogether. Big thing about that, you know, is it's quality gear. It's good gear. Is it dated? Yes. Are there better ways of doing things? Absolutely. But I didn't have to pay $600 for a chest rig. You know, some of us are kind of strapped for cash, and I get that. You know, I'm right there with you. So do I have modern kit? Do I have other more modern stuff? Yes. We're going to do some future videos about that. However, this is a great way to get started. If you're looking to getting into Minuteman lifestyle stuff, it's a great way to start. These vests alone, which can hold the 6 mags and the grenade pouches, you can generally find for less than 30 bucks. The belts you can usually find for 10, and then the pouches and such you can usually find anywhere between 10 to 30 bucks a piece. Again, altogether, this whole setup, just the gear itself, you're looking around 100 bucks. So not a bad way to go. With that being said as well, we roll in a little bit to our rifle. So this here is kind of meant to be a representation of our starting out rifle. So kind of thinking like, you know, back in the day when you had 400 bucks and you got a PSA and you've got the more the M4 style with the A2 carry handle, fixed front sight. Now, this one does have the fixed carry handle on here. Some of them would have like the removable one like you would see on a modern M4. This is actually my Colt SB01, so I know not a cheap gun, but supposed to be representative of you know, a lesser expensive gun that doesn't have all the accoutrement that we've come to know and love. For that, you can see our video that I did with Brandon that you saw earlier on the channel. We did a bunch of retro rifle shooting, kind of give our thoughts on that, but kind of a quick rundown and recap in case you haven't seen that video. There's a lot of viability still left to these guys. So with this rifle, we've got my Yankee Hill suppressor mount. I generally run a Yankee Hill Turbo K on here, so you can still run this suppressed. It is a little gassy, but that's kind of to be expected. Then I've got my Surefire G2X on a impact weapons components mount. So not a bad option too. This one uses older style MOE style screws to attach to an A2 carry handle. So if you have an A2, you're trying to figure out how to mount a light to it, not a bad option, but not a bad way to go. I've got the Brownell Retros 4-power optic here that sits on here that allows me to still maintain my iron sights through this. And then, yeah, that's basically the rifle itself. So with this, there's still a lot of modern viability. I still have magnified optic that's still very useful. I can still reach out to several hundred yards with this. There's not a whole lot I can't do with this that I can more do with a rifle like my Daniel Defense that we'll see later. Mounting accessories is a little bit more challenging, sure. Do I have a free float rail? No. So you know, there are some pros, there are some cons, but all together, it's still a pretty viable platform. It's a hell of a lot of fun to shoot. Plus, the LARP game is strong. So with that, guys, I know we're a little short today, but just wanted to get a video out there, get one made, and kind of start this for us. So this is gonna be kind of our, if you're watching, joining with us, this is kind of going to be something we're going to get into a little bit more. If you've been following the podcast, we greatly appreciate that. We want to get more into long form content like this with more videos, more instructional stuff, and kind of show you a little bit more of what we talk about other than just the Instagram posts. If you're not already, follow me on Instagram. I'll have my Instagram handle tagged down below, as well as Mike, my co-host, and Brandon's as well. Follow Brandon, the guy you saw at the beginning. He's running the camera right now. So follow him on YouTube as well. He's putting out some great gun stuff. And hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully we can build on this and build it up just like we did the podcast. Until then, see you next time.
Ape together, strong.